Hello students, I am Dr. Rajneesh Kumar, working as Associate Professor in NIT Institute of Pharmacy. In the previous lecture, we have talked about different topics of the optical isomerism, which include optical activity, enantiomers, diastereomers. We also talk about the mesocompounds. We also talk about the properties of enantiomers and diastereomers. After that, we had a discussion on the different elements of symmetry, axis of symmetry, plane of symmetry, center of symmetry, and the alternating axis of symmetry. Then we also talk about sequence rules, means Kohn-Inlock-Prolog system, CIP sequence rule we can also say, and the different nomenclature system which we use to nomenclate organic compounds, including relative system, that is RS system, and the relative system means DL system, and the absolute system, that is RS system. Now, we have also talked about the chiral molecules and the chiral carbon. So, in continuation with those topics, now I am here with a different topic, that is concept of pro-stereoisomerism and racemic modification. Pro-isostereomerism is also known as the pro-chirality. So, we will go through these topics one by one. So, first of all, we discuss about the symmetry and the chirality. We already know about the chiral molecules and the chiral carbon. We already know about the element of symmetry. We just take a look on those topics again in very short time. So, a molecule or an object can have only one mirror image. If the image is superimposable on the original, the molecule is called the achiral. We know already, but I am just revising. If it is not superimposable on its original molecule, the molecule and the mirror image from two distinct species called enantiomer. That giving rise to the type of stereoisomerism known as the enantiomerism. Such molecules are called chiral, and the two enantiomers are said to differ in their sense of chirality or handedness, in the same way as right hand differ from the left hand. Right hand, left hand, mirror image of each other, but they are not superimposable. Now, the term pro-chirality or pro-stereoisomerism, what is that actually? Molecule which display chirality is called the chiral, we know it. For example, lactic acid, S isomer of lactic acid, S plus lactic acid is chiral. Here the chiral center is present on the C2 carbon. Here you can see this is lactic acid, this is the chiral center. Some other type of chirality also present in the molecules which do not have chiral centers. So, now we are talking about those molecules which are not having any chiral center. And we are saying that certain type of chirality is also present on those molecules also. Why? Because they are having dissymmetry of axis and plane. So, here is the example of proponic acid. You can see this is not the chiral carbon, because it is having two hydrogens, means this carbon is not attached to the four different groups. Two groups are same, this is also hydrogen, this is also hydrogen. but replacement of this hydrogen or this hydrogen by any other group like hydroxyl group in this case gives us a new molecule, that is S plus lactic acid, which is a chiral molecule having a chiral center. Okay. S lactic acid, we can also get R lactic acid. Okay. So, we can get a chiral molecule from a non-chiral or achiral molecule, because in achiral molecule there is a carbon having certain groups which can be replaced by a new groups, okay, to produce a chiral carbon. Okay. So, that molecule is known as the prochiral molecules, and that is known as the prochiral center. Prochiral center is there. Prochiral center, it means is the center in which we can replace existing groups by a new group to produce a chiral center. Okay. Substitution is one of the common way to interconverting a prochiral organic molecules into the chiral organic molecules. For example, lactic acid in principle can be synthesized by the addition of methyl magnesium bromide to the carbonyl of the glycolic acid. Here you can see in the structure also. Here that is glycolic acid. Okay. When we are treating this glycolic acid with the methyl magnesium bromide, reaction can take place in two ways. In one way, when this methyl magnesium bromide attack from the front side, okay, we can get a particular enantiomer. If that methyl magnesium bromide attack from the rear side, we can attack the different isomer. Okay. If the attack of the Grignard reagent on the front face of the carbonyl groups S lactic acid and the attack on the rear face gives the R lactic acid. Thus, the carbonyl groups in glycolic acid is also prochiral. Okay. Why? Because attack will be taken place on that particular carbonyl group by the Grignard reagent. Okay. Replacement or the substitution of this particular carbonyl oxygen occurring in this particular reaction to give rise a new molecule with a chiral center. So, this glycolic acid is a pre-chiral molecule having the pre-chiral center, which gives rise a new molecule in the form of plus lactic acid or the minus lactic acid. Okay. And as these lactic acid molecules having the chiral center in its structure. So, prochiral glycolic acid having pre-chiral center gives rise to the lactic acid having the chiral center. Okay. The next important term which we have to know is topicity. Okay. In stereochemistry, topicity is the stereochemical relationship between the substituents and the structure to which they are attached. Just okay. It is its relationship in between the substituent and the structure to which they are attached. Okay. Suppose this is a carbon, again it is attached with the two types of hydrogen, hydrogen A and hydrogen B. Okay. So, relation in between this carbon with this hydrogen or this hydrogen is called the topicity. Okay. Now, these ligands may be of two types, homotopic ligands or the heterotopic ligands. Homotopic ligands and heterotopic ligands. Heterotopic ligands may be of again two types. Okay, distereotopics or enantiotopic ligands. So, first of all we will go through with the homotopic ligands. The two group A and B are the homotopic if the molecule remain the same, including stereochemically when the groups are interchanged with the some other atom such as bromine, while the remaining part of the molecule is stay fixed. So, just take the example of this. If we replace this hydrogen with the new molecule, suppose X, okay, at one time. Okay. Suppose here H, here I am trying to write this here again. This is a molecule. When if HA replaced by Br and HB will be replaced by Br, we are getting Br HB, we are getting HBr, and both the molecule after the substitution will remain same. Okay. So, those groups or ligands are known as homotopic ligands. Okay. Homotopic atoms are always identical in any environment, means if we interchange this hydrogen from this hydrogen, there is no difference occur in the final molecules. For example, the 4 hydrogen atoms of the methane CH4, like I am talking about CH2, now I am giving the example of CH4. So, all the 4 atoms of hydrogen in methane are homotopic with one another, as the 2 hydrogens or the 2 chlorines in dichloromethanes, because there is no change occur on changing the either hydrogen molecules in methane. Okay. 2 hydrogen atoms of methylene bromides are homotopic because the replacement of the either by chlorine gives the same CHBr2Cl. Here I am talking about that. We are having this molecules, okay, methylene bromide, 2 types of hydrogen is there, HA and HB. Okay. Means if HA is replaced by chlorine, we are having this final molecule. If HB is replaced by the chlorine, we are having this molecules, and both the molecules are same. So, these hydrogens of the methylene bromide is called homotopic ligands in methylene bromide. In the next example, we can see the 3 hydrogen atom in the acetic acid are homotopic because replacement of any one of them by fluorine gives one and the same fluoroacetic acid. So, 3 hydrogens are there. We nomenclate those hydrogen as HA, HB and HC. HA is replaced by fluorine, we are getting this molecule. HB is replaced by fluorine, we are getting this molecule, and if HC is replaced by fluorine, we are getting this molecule. And on analyzing all the 3 molecules we are getting after the replacement of different hydrogen, we can say that all the molecules are same. Okay. They are superimposable molecules by the rotation of CH2F groups. So, at that time we can say that these hydrogens are homotopic ligands in the acetic acid. Now, the next important term is homotopic phases. 2 phases of the molecules usually, but not invariably, phases of double bonds are homotopic when addition of the same reagents of either phase give the same addition products. Very important. So, for example, reduction of acetone with sodium boron hydride will give the same reduced products to propanol by the attack of front phase or the rephase. Means, if a molecule is attacked by either front side or the rear side, we are getting the same molecules in the last of the reaction. So, at that time we can say that a molecule is having the homotopic phase. The next term is heterotopic ligands and phases. So, in I told you that in homotopics all the ligands in a particular molecules are same, means the replacement of those atoms are giving the same final products, but in case of heterotopic ligands and phases, 2 or more ligands that are identical when viewed in isolation. For example, hydrogen atoms, methyl groups, fluorine or substitutes, anything else which are there in the molecules may nevertheless to be distinct by virtue of their placement in the molecules. Such ligands are called heterotopic, means replacement of the one ligands by another groups will not yield the same final products after the reaction. The relationship between heterotopic groups and isomers show that identical ligands differentiated in the spatial arrangements are stereotopics. Stereotopic ligands and faces can be enantiotopic and the distereotopics. So, heterotopic ligands may be of two types, enantiotopics and the distereotopic, as you can see there. So, identical ligands, stereo heterotopics and constitutional heterotopic. So, stereo heterotopic may be of enantiotopic or the distereotopics. They are having optical activity. Okay. Now, what are enantiotopic ligands? The stereochemical terms enantiotopics refer to the relationship between two groups in a molecule, which if one or other were replaced would generate a chiral compound. So, I told you that in enantiotopic ligands, the final products will always having the optical activity. Optical activity means this must have a chiral compounds. The two possible compounds resulting from that replacement would be enantiomer. It is must. For example, the two hydrogen atoms attached to the second carbon in butanes are enantiotopic. Why? Because the final product will be enantiomer after the reaction. Replacement of one hydrogen atom, here you can say this, okay, with a bromine atom will produce R2 bromobutane, while the replacement of another hydrogen atom, that is red colored hydrogen atom with a bromine atom will produce the enantiomer. So, we can see that replacement of two different hydrogen in a butane molecule with the same group will yield in two different stereoisomer, that is R2 bromobutane and the S2 bromobutanes. So, these are the example of enantiotopics. Then enantiotopic phases, again two types of phases are there. Similar criteria as we adopted in the enantiomeric ligands, the similar criteria will be adopted in case of enantiotopic phase. Similar criteria of the addition or can be established for the enantiotopic phase. Phases are enantiotopic if addition means if we attack from the front side, different isomer will be yielded. If we attack from the rear side, different isomer, optical active isomer will be yielded. So, at that time those phases are known as the enantiotopic phases. Here you can see the example, the addition of hydrogen cyanide to the benzaldehyde molecules. Okay. Okay. If we take the example of a reaction in which HCN attack this benzaldehyde molecules from the front side, okay, or from the back side. So, on both the occasions we are getting two different types of optically active enantiomer in after the reaction. Okay. So, here R isomer we are getting, here S isomer we are getting. Okay. When we are attacking the benzaldehyde molecule in two different side, we are getting two different isomers or enantiomer. So, this is the clear example of enantiomeric phases. Now, diastereomic ligands. The stereochemical terms diastereomic ligand referring to and we know already what are the diastereomers, non superimposable nor mirror images. Okay. So, in the continuation of that term here diastereomic ligands, we just relate this topic with the diastereomers or the property of diastereomers. The stereochemical term diastereotopic refer to the relationship between the two groups in a molecule, which if replaced would generate compound that are diastereomers. In enantiomer ligands, we are getting enantiomer after the reaction, after replacing the particular groups in the molecule. In diastereomeric ligands, when we replace a particular groups in a molecule by a same groups, we are getting two different diastereomers. Okay. So, those groups are called the diastereomeric ligands. Diastereomeric groups are often, but not always, antigroups attached to the same atom in a molecule containing at least one chiral center, at least one chiral centers. Okay. It may be more. For example, two hydrogen atoms of the methylene moiety in S2 bromobutanes are diastereo. Here, two hydrogen is there. If we replace either of the two hydrogen from a new atom, for example, bromine, we are getting two different diastereomer. One diastereomer is there, second diastereomer is there. So, this is the clear example of the diisomeric ligands. Now, come to the racemic modification, very important topic. So, equimolar mixture of pair of enantiomer is known as the racemic modification. The total optical rotation shown by the racemic modification will be 0. Why? Because two enantiomer in that particular racemic modification is having equal and opposite magnitude of the optical rotation. So, racemic modification will always be optically inactive. Okay. It will be designated as RAC or plus minus, okay, designated by the prefix plus minus or RAC or by the RS. Okay. Racemic modification in the vapor or liquid phase. So, physical properties such as density, refractive index are identical to those of the pure enantiomers. Okay. In the solid state, this is the important point. In the solid state, racemic modification have some properties different from that of the pure enantiomer. So, in the vapor or liquid phase, all the physical properties are same, while in solid state racemic modification some properties may be differ. Racemic modification may be of three types. One is racemic mixture, it is also known as conglomerate. The second is racemic compound, it is also known as racemate, and third is racemic solid solution. Okay. It is also known as the pseudo racemic compound. So, we will discuss one by one. Racemic mixture is a mechanical mixture of crystals of two enantiomers, plus enantiomer or the minus enantiomers. It is formed when each enantiomer has a greater affinity for the molecule of its own type, okay, than the opposite enantiomer. In most respect, racemic modification has properties similar to those of the pure enantiomer, but like an ordinary mixture, its melting point is lower than that of the pure component and solubility is higher. While in case of racemic compound, which is also known as racemate, each enantiomer has greater affinity for the molecules of their enantiomer than for the its own kind. A molecular compound is formed which is known as the racemic compounds. In other words, racemate is a molecular compound formed by the union of two enantiomer. Most of the physical properties are different from those of the pure enantiomer. It should be noted that racemic mixture may be converted into racemic compounds at particular temperature, and the temperature is known as the transition temperature. The third and the last is racemic solid solution. It is also known as pseudo racemic compounds. When a pair of enantiomer crystallize together, the product form is known as the racemic solid solution. This is formed when there is a little difference in the affinity between the pure enantiomer. Such racemic modification are identical with pure enantiomer in all the respects. For example, melting point, boiling point, solubility, refractive index, etc. So, these are the these are the types of racemic modification. Okay. And in the next lecture, we will discuss about the different method for the resolution of those racemic modification, which includes biochemical methods, mechanical methods, chromatography methods. So many methods are there, which we will discuss in the next lecture in the resolution of racemic modification. So, I am ending this lecture here. I hope you have enjoyed this lecture and it will be beneficial for you for your exams. So, thank you so much students. Take care.